Quickly, before we have to go, just over a year ago, last summer, the U.S. Senate passed a bill that was meant to overhaul immigration laws for the first time since 1986, creating a path for citizenship for millions of undocumented residents, and also ratcheting up security along the Mexican border. This sweeping legislation passed bipartisan with 14 Republican votes in the Senate. You support creating a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants in the U.S. What would that path look like? Something like in the Senate bill?
I think it would be similar to the Senate bill. I think, first of all, you have to create opportunities, one, for children that were brought here by their parents and they're undocumented. They're referred to as dreamers. We need to make sure that they have opportunities for educational opportunities in this country. I think more importantly, though, we need to make sure that we set up a pathway to citizenship. Not to argue with Congressman King, but there is no way that I can see that this state is going to move 13 million undocumented workers back to the countries they came from. We saw what went on in Postville in this district back in 6 or 8 years ago. We spent approximately, I think it was $230,000 for each person that we deported from the Postville plant. Plus, we have to make sure that if we're going to address immigration, we need to also go after employers who knowingly bring people here and try to violate the law. We're ignoring that portion of it. And the last piece of it needs to be
quickly.
Quickly, I'll just say, we need to make sure that we take care of the children that are coming up here. They're not from Mexico. They're coming from further south. Okay. We need to make sure that when we're talking about these children, we need to treat them like they're our children or our grandchildren. If they're going to be refugees, which several of them are going to be, we need to make sure that we have we take care of them and we create a pathway for citizenship and set up education for them so they don't become the same problem that we're currently having in the Middle East, that they'll be a terrorist a generation from now.
Pat Murphy, something tells me growing up at the 9th of 10 children in your family, you were good at getting a word in edgewise there at the dinner table.
That's true. And an elbow, too.
Candidate for Iowa's 1st Congressional District, thanks for coming into our Cedar Falls studio.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Our executive producer is Catherine Perkins. Lindsay Moon produced this program. I'm Ben Kiefer. Thanks for joining us.
Up next here and now from NP.